He has a dribble right there. All right, he's taking the dribble. Let me go back a little bit. So he's taking the dribble. Now he's gonna let the ball hang and take some steps in between. So he hasn't closed his dribble off. Until this point, you can consider that a carry. But for the most part, it's just like his hand is on the side of the ball or it's just spinning. If the ball is still spinning, that dribble has not came to a halt. Because if you stop the dribble, carry it, or touch it with two hands, it will stop spinning. And every ref knows that. Right? So here's another example. I switched it from the right to the left, and the ball is pretty much still in the air, but you can see it spinning in my hand. So I can take as many steps as I want, long as I don't stop the motion of the basketball. And if you dribble the ball, if you slam it to the ground, it can hang in the air longer than people may think, right? So it's taking that dribble and pretty much taking 4 steps in between, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so I'll go over that one more time. So after the ball, so dribble, right, left, right, left. Right, simple as that. Right, left, right, left. Because when I close that dribble off right here, I just take 1, 2 into the shot. We haven't even started talking about gather steps, right? So that one, I don't even have the ball in my hand, so you can see how long the ball can stay in the air. Now, this is especially important. This is the part I need to really break down to you. This is especially important because you need to have your hand on the ball as long as you can to make a decision. Some people take quick dribbles coming off a screen, and sometimes it's okay to do that. But when you know that roll man has the opportunity to be open, you need to have your hand on the ball in order to be able to pass it, because you can't pass it if it's not in your hands, if it's still riding in the air. So you're going to know when you get better at pick and roll, you're going to know those situations where it's time to pass it, when somebody's going to be open. And having your hand on the ball longer will determine whether you can make that pass or whether you can hold it long enough to go into that shot. And I'm going to prove that. So same thing right there. It may seem like a travel, but you're just not used to seeing it, right? You're just not used to seeing people do that. So now I'm going to, and this is not the proof that I was talking about, but I have to have the ball in my hand in order to pass that pass. Like, it opens up so fast when you're setting these picks. So boom. And not even take the 3 or 4 steps that you can count, while the ball is still hanging. So even if you go off of that, like the ball's like in the air. So I dribble it right here. 1, 2, jump stop. So it's riding. I'm just reading the situation. I'm going into the shot. Same thing right here. Then I'm making a pass. I kind of threw a little off-target pass, but the ball was in my hand. That's the point. Got to have the ball in my hand. So I know he's going to roll because Tyler, who has the hood on, is topside and Jeremy's under. So if I attack the guy in the blue sweats, then there's nobody guarding Jeremy because he's behind him. So it's a 2-on-1. Makes this whole situation easy. Now, what I want to do, let me go back here. What I want to do is I'll take you over to Synergy. So I want to show you Chris Paul doing exactly this, what we're just talking about, right? With an assist are mostly buckets. So now you can see is Chris Paul, he comes across the screen, right? He snakes it. He's always looking back because he sells this with his eyes. Now, up to this point, he doesn't take any more dribbles. He just hangs. So that's his last dribble. Hangs. 3, 4, into the jumper. So what you may thought, this is the best in the game. One of the best in the game at doing this. I'll show you another clip. We'll see a few different situations with this. Come right off of the screen. You're going to snake it. So right there, this is perfect. So the ball is just hanging. He's not breaking the natural motion of the basketball until he collects it and goes up for the shot. So you may have counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But here's what you have to notice, right? On that first dribble, that first step, the ball is barely, it's not even really in his hand right there. Takes another one and then goes 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. So it's like you got to pay attention. All right, when the ball has not been shut down, when the closed off, I should say, you could take as many steps as you want. Because if you wouldn't be able to do that, then a stutter step will be completely illegal if you know what a stutter step is. It's when you chop your feet. That's another perfect example. So he rides it out. His hand is on the ball. He's deciding whether he wants to make that pass or take the jumper. And him looking back to the screen right here is what sells everything. Boom, right into the jumper. More clips. Same thing. Kind of gets rid of him right there. So this one could be really, really close if you're looking at it. But it's not a travel still. So he's letting it ride. And the thing is, he takes a little extra like step, like a little bound here, right there, just to get a little bit further. But that's the part of being able to, the thing about being able to manipulate the ball and like cover ground. It's so important to be able to do this type of stuff. Now he's going to kind of lose it here. So this one, he is the same thing. If he doesn't have the ball in his hands, he can't make this pass, and it opens up so fast, and it's such a tight space to be able to throw that pass. So it's important to be able to have the ball in your hand, because he'll go up into this shot right here and pop into the air for a pull-up. But on that one, he just throws the pass down there. So let's look at another assist that he has. I think it's this play. Very important for you to understand this. So he takes his last dribble right there, and the ball's hanging right here. Hanging. So the ball's in his hand, so he's able to make that pass, right? If it's not in his hand, he can't make it. And it opens up just for a split second. But remember, I told you, when you get better at this stuff, you'll know the second that that pass is getting ready to open up. So you need to make sure that the ball is hanging in those scenarios, right? I think we got one more. Another assist. This is a good one. So he takes all the steps we've been talking about. That's his last dribble, 2, 3, 4, pass. It's legal, guys. It's legal. Because think about it like this. If he would have put the ball back on the ground, nobody would even thought to call travel. Or you probably, see, if you didn't know about this, you would have thought, you would have thought it was a travel. The average person, especially on social media, will always think those plays are travels. Boom, same thing. So now he can go into a half spin. He can go into a step back. He can go into a pull up. He can pass it. All that stuff. There's so many things you can go into from that point when the ball is just riding in the air. So hopefully you learn from that, and now you can apply it to your game using these type of workouts right here. The one we just, let me see if I pulled that out. The one we looked at in the first place. And let me see if I can bring that up for you one more time. Desktop, videos, where they send it to? Downloads, there we go. Same thing right there. And once you get a hang of it, you don't even have to think about it. Just work on this over and over and over and send me clips just so I can make sure that you're doing it right. All right? Your turn to go work.